All right, folks. Good morning. We're one day away. One day away from MLB opening day. What the real opening day, you know. Not this woke, you know, DEI Japan series. Real opening day. Tomorrow. I've got my predictions for you. It's been rumored, long rumored, but now confirmed. Playback.tv/slightly biased. We'll have baseball this year. We will be diving into that. Got to react to the morning routine guys video. Is there a new one? Is it worth it? The last one I saw, he was playing into it too much, and I respect it, but he was playing into it a little bit too much. Leaked the playback announcement. Is baseball surely? Oh, yeah, it's baseball. Well, I don't know for sure. You know, I'm friendly with a lot of the playback people. Talk to them, give them my feedback on things, right? But need you all on all 162. Well, I'll be in Europe. So I mentioned this, but Slightly Unplugged will make its return. Paul at the $2. Sorry, Rangers will be second or third in the division at best. Hell no. I mean, hell no. The Slightly Unplugged will be making its return this year. It'll be a little bit different. I will miss the draft. So that one will be very difficult. Let's just assuming that the Mavericks don't make the playoffs and are a lottery team. That one's going to be a difficult one to not know who the fuck we drafted. Rangers need some work on their starting rotation. How about you work on your life, buddy? Huh? Leave it to the professionals. The cheating Astros and the no-hitting Mariners finished second and third. I got my predictions right in front of me, and I got some bold ones. Where are you going, Slightly? Gonna spend a week in London. Might never come back. Going to Dublin. First time going to Ireland. I wish Finn could come. First time going to Ireland, and also going to Italy. So going to Venice. Not Venice. I forgot where I'm going in Italy. I just kind of go with the flow, right? I sort of go with the flow. But I know for a fact going to London, going to Ireland. Florence. Going to Florence. So I'm excited about that. Never been to Italy. I've also never been to Italy. So excited. 2 new countries. Here's the coffee today. Now, you guys know I love my Nespresso, right? Made a big mistake on the purchasing front. Went with coffee this time around with the pods. Wanted a coffee pod instead of an espresso pod. I got the flavored coffees. It's too much going on, right? So first couple times I put my creamer in it, and I just realized, like, there's just a lot going on with the flavor of this. And so right now we're just going coffee and a splash of milk. And, you know, there's 40 of them. So it's just my reality for the next month or so. Just got to persevere. And stay strong. And that's what it's all about. You know, that's what it's all about. persevering, staying strong, facing adversity. How do you respond to that adversity? That's what defines you. That's what defines you right there. All right, today we're going to talk about the this last play-in spot in the West. Does anybody fucking want it? I'll tell you which team looks like they don't want it. The Baffling Kings. And, this isn't bad. I used to just drink black coffee. Who was I fooling, right? That was in college, and that was an aesthetic choice. I have to just be honest with you guys. When I do something embarrassing, I just have to tell you up front and honest, that was an aesthetic choice. I thought it looked sick. Going into class with black coffee, I feel like people looked at me a little bit differently. I feel like maybe there was a little more of a bit of a respect factor that was added into the equation. I feel like I was taken a little bit more seriously. It's like, that guy's drinking black coffee. Like, there's just something more important about him. It was a gimmick, 100%. But I also trained myself to like it, though, is the thing. To where I did end up enjoying it. The flavor of coffee is better than the flavor of creamer, so black all the way. Look, I'm going to be real. The flavor of creamer, Jesus. The flavor of creamer far outweighs the flavor of coffee. Like, let's just be honest. Some creamers are delicious. Now, the problem is you're then drinking a milkshake. Like, you're then talking about a 400 calorie beverage versus what's coffee? 5, 10 calories? You're then talking about a 300 to 400 calorie beverage. So is the penthouse just for a bit? No, the penthouse is serious. And I think my time drinking black coffee led to this in a strange way. In a strange roundabout way. I only drink black coffee. I'm just maximizing caffeine intake. It's not like creamer or anything neuters the caffeine. If you weren't on the playback stream last night, huge mistake, but also you missed one of the greatest gaming performances of the last 15 to 17 years. We dominated Wordle. We dominated categories. We dominated whatever the other game was. Contexto. And for the first time in months, we went 5 for 5 on GeoGuessr. Did the Lambo get damaged from the storm last night? I don't drive a Lambo. I could have $1 billion and I don't think I'd have a nice car, honestly. And I know I'm just chatting shit at this point. Like, that's obviously not true, but there's no way. I'm not a car person. I don't care at all. Don't care in the slightest. $1 billion stretching it. I don't think I'd have a crazy car. How about that? Maybe like a nice, I don't even know what cars are nice. Like a Lexus, I guess. Like a Lexus. But like a fancy sports car, no chance. Don't care. I see you in a Wraith before. Must have been some other really handsome guy. Not me. I uploaded that us reacting to that guy on my Clips channel. It's doing pretty good. I'm just expect to see more non-basketball related stuff. I had so much fun talking about that guy. That was one of the funniest. Hey, look on ESPN right now. What's your boldest take on MLB this season? Jeff Passan. Rangers will win the AL. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Spending too much money on my car. I like it, though. I don't want to tell you guys, but I drive at the risk of really doxing myself in any way, but I think it'd surprise you all. It's a single cab truck, that's for sure. It is. And I could easily upgrade my car. I just don't fucking want to. I technically have 2 cars, right? But one of them's it's a long story. Let's get going here. How about truck? A horrible first guess. Truck might be the worst first guess of all time in the history of this game. I mean, just you don't check any boxes with truck. You check no boxes at all. Just a terrible first guess. And you can put the blame on me. Okay. All right. That's helpful. That's helpful. B. How about globe? Oh, can't be at the end. I like that guess though. I like the thinking. I don't think elab. It's not elaborate. That's not a el. I don't see a word that has a B in it. A 5-letter word that has a B in it that starts with el. Like I'm thinking elope, but that can't be it. Where would the E be? Blank? Like, could this be a flub? All right, here we go. This is going to be tough. I'm honestly thinking about just throwing globe out there just so I could see where the B could be, right? And that is what I'm going to do. Okay, that was actually a good guess. That told me a lot. It tells me a lot. All right. Where the fuck is the B? The B has to be the last letter. There's an O now in the mix. I'll read that in a second. There's an O now in the mix. Does O go blank? Blank B. That doesn't, I don't see it. There has to be an E in the equation as well. E, L. This one, is this a hard one? Is this a hard word or am I really overthinking it again? B has to be the last letter. So we know it's blank L blank B. With an O in the equation. But it's not the third letter. What the flying fuck? This is a strange word. Is this an easy one? Am I missing this? Am I missing something obvious here? Here's the problem with this game for me. The moment I face adversity, I crumble and I think it's the hardest word of all time. Am I missing an easy word? Where does the E go? I mean, that's not a word, bro. There's no way B is the third letter. None at all. Dude, I don't know. I actually don't know. O-L. I'm looking at the chat. Elbow? Oh. Yep. All right. See, I overthink it so hard. I was thinking, like, is this a word that I don't know? Are we getting like a globe, elogaba? Like, is this going to be a word I'm not familiar with? And then it's elbow. Slightly cheating? I cheated. I don't care. I don't want to spend 20 minutes doing this. I overthink it. That's the problem. That's the problem. I overthink it so heavily. Well, let's get connections. This is my game right here. This is my game. All right. Glass, shot, glass. Card, rose. Okay. Courts. Okay. This is an interesting start here. I'm thinking thrust. Thrust and drive could be connected immediately off the top of my head. Plate. Disc. I mean, we're talking disc-shaped objects potentially. Plate, disc, but I don't see anything else. Plate, glass, fork. We're talking about napkin. Boom. We're talking about things you'll find on a table, right? Plate, glass, fork, napkin. Now that's good enough for me to immediately submit that in as a guess. All right. Get that out the way. Bounce, flew, shot, rose. Those are all kind of... Okay. I like the thought process there. Bounce, flew, shot. He shot out. He flew. He bounced out. He thrusted out. He drew. Fuck. Then it would have to be drive, right? Uh-oh. Let's rethink this. Pinot, rosé, I'm bad with wine. We can't fuck around here. Like, we cannot fuck around. This, to me, could be a one. Disc, card, drive, cloud. Those are all ways that you can... Those have to be connected. Those are all ways that you can store something on a computer. On a disk, on a card, on a cloud, on the drive. Those all have to be connected. Come on, baby. Okay. So then that leads me to bounce, thrust, flew, and shot. And then these would be, I'm guessing, wine related. Did we already guess this though? These four? Already guessed. Oh shit. Thank God they don't. Did we guess these four? Shot, gallon, quarts. What did I get wrong? Increased with up, units of volume plus letter. Wait, what? Wait. Can I go back and look at it? Units of volume plus letter. Increased with up. Flew, rose, shot, thrust. Did I not guess that? Oh, pints. Okay, I see where they went there. All right. That one was kind of confusing. That's a bit of a difficult one, I gotta say. Right, that's kind of a difficult one. Pints, like they added the O. So see, so that's where they tricked me. I saw my mind went Pinot, Rosé. Those two were just intertwined in my mind because immediately I thought wine. That's a tough one. How hard was that one? Okay. All right. I'm not doing that shit. So do I have to do this or can we grow up like adults and you just let me go? I hate connections for its slipperiness. I typically do pretty well on connections. That's what makes this so sad. Connections is typically my area of expertise. I'm slightly late. Have you done baseball yet? No, we haven't technically started the show yet. But we are right now. Where do we want to start with? I kind of know where we want to start with. And I'm ready to go there. Good morning, folks. It's Wednesday, March 26th, 2025, 11:04 a.m. Central Standard Time. Today, we got a lot to talk about, a lot in the NBA world, a lot in the Mavericks world. No surprise there. And we're doing our baseball predictions here at the end of the episode. We have opening day tomorrow. We're a little bit, when does it start? We are about 24 hours away from first pitch. The Yankees and Brewers, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time on ESPN. Rangers, Red Sox, 3 p.m. Let's go Rangers. It's our year, baby. It's our year. Come on now. I'm pumped. I'm excited. We're going to get into that at the end of the episode. But let's start in the pathetic question conference. The Sacramento Kings, the Baffling Kings, as I like to call them, are, they've lost a couple games in a row. They've been a bottom 10 team in the NBA since they made the De'Aaron Fox trade. Over the last 2 weeks, they've been the worst defensive team in the entire NBA. This includes all of the dregs of the league who are clearly and obviously tanking. The Sacramento Kings are the worst defensive team in the league over that stretch. So the Kings have been really struggling last night. I'm sort of opening talking about them because I don't really have much to say about them other than if I had to make a prediction right now, I think they're the team out of the play-in tournament, straight up. I do. I think the Suns end up making it, and I think the Mavs end up making it. And I think the Kings find themselves on the outside looking in. They're currently tied with the Suns, 25 games back of first place, 9-10 seed. The Mavs, half a game back from those two teams. Now, the Kings, I looked at their schedule. It's not that difficult moving forward, but the way that they've played lately, Sabonis just coming back from an injury, he hasn't looked anywhere near himself. They've been a better team when Zach LaVine's been off the court. So that's a marriage that has not looked great. Horrible, wonky fit. Who could have guessed? DeMar DeRozan is just, I don't know, sticking out like a sore thumb on this fucking team. Just one of the dumber signings. And I'm happy I clocked that. And people sort of dismiss that as me being a weird, strange anti-Kings person, which for some reason I am, and I'm not sure why, because there's really no reason to not root for this Kings team, right? However, everyone loved the DeRozan signing, and I understood it from the aspect of, wow, the King, like getting a guy like DeMar DeRozan, that like never happens for this team. The fit made no sense. None at all. None whatsoever. And it continues to not make any sense at all. And Sabonis hasn't looked great since his return from injury. Give him a little bit more time. But their schedule moving forward, Portland's not a cakewalk. The Magic are kind of figuring some stuff out. It looks like Indiana's been great for months now. The Wizards are bad. Charlotte's bad. But then Cleveland, Detroit, Denver, LA, Phoenix. Like, that's a tough into the schedule right there. A couple of gimmies mixed in there that you absolutely have to win. But, the pathetic Suns are turning it around. They've started their unbelievably difficult 10-game stretch with 2 wins against the Cavs, against the who did they beat a couple nights ago? The Bucks, right? No Dame in that game. But they're turning it around. The Mavs have AD back. This Kings team just they're so uninspiring. And yeah, look at who they've lost to. The Bulls are good now. Like, straight up, the Bulls are, I would say, over the last couple months, a good team. You play them right now, that's tough. The Bucks, not a lot of shame in losing to them. The Celtics, no shame in losing to them. The Thunder, no shame in losing to them, really. But that's 4 straight losses right there. Got lost to a Thunder team that I didn't think had a very good game last night. They shot really well from 3, the Thunder did. 59% from 3. The Kings shot 48%. But Shea didn't have a tremendous game, which is 32 points, 10 of 23. But it wasn't the Shea Gilgeous-Alexander game that you're accustomed to. No J-Dub in this one. Chet was awesome in this game. Having discussed Dame's situation is sad. Yeah, it is. It is. I'm worried about that. Is that a full season? The blood clot stuff's always so interesting because we don't get updates on it because it's just such a quick moving thing, I guess. Like, we don't know when they're gone type of thing. 3 players with blood clots in the last year. Yeah, that's also very strange. Maybe they're just getting better at detecting these things. That could be it. Bosch had to retire because of it. That was like an outlier circumstance, though. And Bosch got blood clots twice. It was the second time the blood clots popped up. That was the end, right? It's unpredictable, right? Could be the summer, could never return. Yeah, there is well, he might never come back from this type of thing, but it's the same thing they diagnosed Wemby with, right? It was the same verbiage. Wemby's was in his shoulder, Dame's was in his calf. And the Spurs made it seem like, yeah, Wemby will be back. We're not worried about it, like it being a super long-term thing. It helps being younger. Well, Dame's not on the younger side in terms of basketball. Asar had that too. Yeah, Asar had it as well. So, I don't know. We'll see. That's one of those scary injuries. It's one of those injuries that it's scary, so you don't talk about it, and you don't want to be the guy to be like, that really changes the dynamic of the Eastern Conference. Like, you don't want to be that guy to be the first one to be like, I hope he's all right, but it's pretty significant. One of the main issues is the blood thinners in terms of return. Yeah, that's... So it's not like, knock on wood, if they find it, it's not really like a life-threatening thing from what I understand, but it is the dangers of playing a sport when you're on blood thinners. Like, they can fix it with blood thinners, but it's dangerous to play a contact sport on blood thinners is the thing. Bosch had to retire. Again, Bosch's he got blood clots a second time in his lung. So... that was the concern with Chris Bosch. So anyways, that was our Milwaukee Bucks aside. The Kings, the baffling Kings. I just kind of feel sad for them. I do. I feel a bit bad for them because their team looks rudderless. You think, what's the future direction of this team, realistically speaking? Keegan Murray had a fantastic, third quarter? Last night, 9 of 13 from 3. All of his field goals were threes. Keegan has games like these every now and then you see Kings fans are like, man, just build around Keegan. Keegan's not that guy at all. He's not. Okay, and I'm like not trying to shit on Kings fans and poo-poo anything that they do because they've been through a lot and they don't deserve that. But I'm sorry, Keegan Murray is not that guy at all. Could be a very solid third option, which there's nothing wrong with. There's nothing wrong with that. Supposedly dehydration and history of bone fractures are contributing factors of DVT. I've had a bone fracture. Dehydration, let me chug some water. Okay. We're good. But anyways, I don't know what the path moving forward is for the Kings. Now, I wanted to open about the Kings because I'm just watching this Thunder Kings game last night and just thinking to myself, well, Hartenstein and Chet, it looks like they've sort of figured out how this pairing is going to work. Those two have dominated the minutes together recently. Chet's starting to look really good coming back from his injury. You're going to make us all think about blood clots for the rest of the week. I'm not going to lie. Blood clots are always in the back. Like, anytime a blood clot comes, that's always a scary thing. Blood clots are scary as fuck. It's just one of those things that it doesn't leave your brain. My dad told me a story when we were younger that one of his friends from high school just had a brain aneurysm and died in a story. And I thought about that for weeks. Like, it didn't leave my brain. No pun intended. Chet is a physical play away from missing 3 months. Well, yeah, Chet's at injury risk, but they've looked great. And I'm saying all of this to say this. I'm saying all of that to say this. I come away watching their games, watching Shea do Shea Gilgeous-Alexander things, watching Chet and Hartenstein, and I'm just like, God, they can beat you in so many different ways. In your age, you should be worried. That I have no response to that. I'm saying all of that to say this. I watched this Oklahoma City Thunder team. They beat you in so many different ways. I don't see a team that beats them in the Western Conference, man. I don't know if a series is even close. I really don't. I'm sorry. I struggle. I tweeted that out. Somebody replied to me and said they said the same last year. No, they didn't. I actually went back and looked, and I couldn't believe this. I went back and I looked last night. I wanted to see what were like the betting odds going into the playoffs last year. Denver was an overwhelming favorite to win the Western Conference. Like, overwhelming favorite to win the West. You want to know who the second in betting odds was to win the Western Conference? Take a guess, guys. I had to double check the date on this. Because I was like, this couldn't have been right before the playoffs started, right? The Suns, Luka, the Clippers. Yeah, it was the Clippers had the second best odds to win the Western Conference. And then the Thunder and the Mavs were tied right behind them. I know. I was shocked by that as well. Let's not the kind of the Clippers had that stretch around January where they looked like the best team in the league. But yeah, the Thunder were not, even though they were the 1 seed, they were not the favorites to win the West, betting wise at least last year. And this year's different. They're going to be overwhelming favorites to win the Western Conference. I don't see a team that realistically competes with them. I don't. I was looking at it and I was texting today with my Thunder friend, my Thunder buddy. Was texting today with him, and I've kind of come to this conclusion, and you guys tell me if I'm off base here. Just sort of ranking, and I want to give you guys his opinion on this. Ranking the teams that Thunder fans should be scared of the most in the playoffs, at least in the Western Conference playoffs, right? This was his answer. Tier 1, Nuggets, Warriors. Okay, I get it. The Warriors, Thunder fans do seem quite scared of the Warriors. I don't know about that. Nuggets, I understand. Jokic, you've seen size beat you in the past. I get it. Next tier, Lakers, Timberwolves, Rockets. Next tier, Clippers. Next tier, Grizzlies, Kings, Suns. Next tier, and I don't understand why he had to do all this. Next tier, Wemby-less Spurs. Next tier, Mavs. Okay, Cool. That's fine. Fine. That felt a little. That felt a little unnecessary, but okay. I thought, and guys, I've thought about this. I've been thinking about this over the last week or so. If I were a Thunder fan, potential foreshadowing, if I were a Thunder fan, I think the team that I would look at and be a little bit concerned about the most would be the Timberwolves. I think that's the team I squint and I'm like, oh, I could see a pathway there for the Timberwolves really giving us some problems. And guys, whenever I'm saying us and we in reference to the Thunder, I'm putting myself in the shoes of a Thunder fan. I haven't made my decision yet. So when I'm saying us and we, that's what I'm doing. Ant would have to go crazy. Well, let's lay out all the teams in the West, right? Let's lay it out. What would have to happen? The Rockets. They're the 2 seed. They're 2 games up on the 2 seed. It kind of looks like they might be the 2 seed. The Rockets, they're too green. That's just it, really. Right? They've played the Thunder competitively this year, but they're too green. So I think you just dismiss them. And you can say the Thunder are green. The Rockets are green. They haven't been to the playoffs as a group. So it's hard to have really any faith in them. Okay? The Nuggets. Jokic is going to give you an opportunity in any series that you are in, right? You'd have to have Jamal Murray playing at the Jamal Murray from the finals, that run. You're going to have him playing at that level. One of the greatest postseason risers we've ever seen. You're going to have him play at that level. And it's just, you're going to have to get great performances from your others, which is a scary thought process. They're going to force Peyton Watson to shoot. They're going to let Russell Westbrook shoot. They're going to, hey, you guys want to beat us? Jamal Murray, you're going to have to be that fucking guy. Like, you're going to have to be that guy. There's no two ways around it. MPJ, you're going to have to hit threes at an incredibly high clip. Like, they're going to force the Nuggets others who have been very iffy all year long to be great in that series. I don't see it, right? And I just defensively, I don't see them. I don't see them posing too much of a threat to this Thunder team. The Grizzlies, they just don't stand a chance without a healthy and top 10, top 15 level John Morant. They just don't. That's the end of the discussion there. And he's not that. And he's not playing. What the fuck's going on with him? He's hurt. Right? The Lakers. Don't think the Lakers defend well enough. I really don't. I'm sorry. I don't think this Lakers defensive stretch is real. I really don't. And they don't have the size of the front court. Their front court's bad. They don't have the size to really punish the Thunder. And I don't. That's it. Right? And it's going to be a lot of Jared Vanderbilt. You're going to have to hit threes, buddy. It's going to be a lot of Gabe Vincent. You're going to have to hit threes, buddy. You never want to count out Luka and LeBron. The size is Luka. So when we talked about this on here, we've had the Luka's big and the Lakers are big. What the Mavericks were able to do last year was due in large part to the fact that they had 2 legitimately big centers in Gafford and Lively who dominated on the glass in that series, like dominated on the glass in that series. And then you had real legitimate positional size on the way down. Better coach and best player in the series always gives you a chance. Are you saying the Lakers have the better player and the better coach in this series and a potential series against the Thunder? Lakers defense has too many holes. You can't just pack the paint because you're small and pray the other team doesn't make threes. I just think in a 7-game series, I think the Thunder would pick them apart in a serious way. The Warriors, good team. Again, they don't really have the size. I think to beat this Thunder team, if you were going to beat this Thunder team in a 7-game series, you have to have legit size. Legit size. I don't really see it with the Warriors. And also, too, I think Jimmy would have to tap into a scoring level that we have not seen from him. We haven't seen it with the Warriors. I think Jimmy's not going to Golden State to score. We haven't seen it yet. We didn't see it last night. They've been the worst offensive team in the league without Steph Curry. Rockets do have legit size. So the Rockets, on paper, the only reason why I completely discredit the Rockets in this conversation is they're just so green. That's not fair to them, but it's just the reality, man. They don't have playoff experience as a group. That shit does matter. The Clippers are an interesting one. You've got the big sitter in Zubac who protects the paint. A lethal pick and roll threat. He's got that lethal jump hook in the middle of the floor. Get the ball to him. Could pose some real serious problems. You've got good wing defenders. You've got good perimeter defenders. You've got two legit primary scoring threats in Kawhi and Harden with Norm Powell off the bench. It's just, do you trust Kawhi Leonard, who hasn't finished a playoff series since 2021? How could you? Hasn't finished a playoff series since 2021. I have the Pat McAfee show off in the background just because I have ESPN on this channel. Every 30 seconds, the audio is blacked out for 15 seconds. What an incredible product. Do you trust James Harden in the playoffs? Yeah. Yeah, LeBron's on it right now. Then we get to the Timberwolves. Okay. They've played the Thunder well this year. They do have size. I could see them mucking it up on the boards. They do have defenders up and down their roster. You've got Anthony Edwards, who's a very strong defender. You have Jaden McDaniels, who's a great defender. Nickeil Alexander-Walker. They've got defenders up and down the roster. Anthony Edwards, I think, is a playoff riser, 100%. It's just, yeah, it's the Julius Randle conundrum. It's a Julius Randle conundrum. That's really it. Conley, the X factor. The X factor would be Julius Randle in a series. If Julius Randle plays like the worst playoff player we've ever fucking seen, then they stand no chance. Right? They stand no chance at all. And that's the problem with them. The Suns have reached a point where I knew they would reach now. We joked about it, and I've seen it on Twitter now. Suns fans are like, dude, I don't think the Thunder want to see this team in the playoffs. I don't think the Thunder want to see this team in the playoffs. No, they do. Trust me. They're licking their chops. They're licking their chops. So that's where I'm at. I mean, I'm just looking at it. I struggle to see a pathway, not mentioning crazy injury luck. I struggle to see a scenario in which the Thunder do not win the Western Conference. I really do. They're just so good. I just can't imagine it. The East is a little bit more open, and I think they could win the Western Conference, losing maybe one or two games the entire time. The finals will be competitive. Whether that's the Cavs, the Celtics, whoever it may be. The finals, I think, will be a great series. And I'm not sure who. SGA free throw baiting, not working in the playoffs. I mean, SGA was unbelievable in the playoffs last year. SGA was unbelievable. It's just, here's the thing. These teams in the West are good. Don't get me wrong, right? The Rockets are going to win mid-50s in wins. The Nuggets will be in the 50s in wins. Like, they're all good. But the Thunder look like an all-time great team. So when you're comparing the other teams to them, That's when like they almost have to play a perfect series, and you have to try to map out how they can get there, and it doesn't feel realistic. That's where I'm at. It doesn't feel realistic when you try to map out the perfect series. Because it's one thing to win a playoff series. It's one thing to say, oh, the Lakers, and I'm just using the Lakers as an example. The Lakers are a good team. They are a very good team. The Lakers, could make the conference finals. They could make the conference finals, for sure. If the Lakers play the Thunder in the conference finals, their pathway to beat the Rockets would require so many things to go right for them that it's very difficult to even imagine it. I don't understand. I get the idea behind the Pat McAfee, hey, we're going on ESPN, we're going to say whatever the fuck we want. But whenever the audio is getting, dropped every 15 seconds, it sounds so terrible. And I'm on my hating shit today. I am. And I got to sneeze. Oh. The Thunder are young and most of them have very little experience in the playoffs. Why does that not hurt them? No team. So that's the number when that's the number one criticism of your team, you don't have valid criticisms. Right? That's it. No team has done it until they've done it. The Celtics had the same exact thing last year, the same exact narratives. No team's done it until they've done it. Your Rockets criticism is that. The Rockets are, one, incredibly young. They have no playoff experience, right? And I do agree with you that it's very rare. It's very rare, and I think I said the same thing about the Thunder last year. It's very rare for a team to not make the playoffs as a group and then immediately go on a major run, right? That's almost never happens. This is the Thunder's second time. They made it to round 2 last year. They have guys on their roster, and so do the Rockets. But, Caruso's won a championship. Hartenstein's been in a playoff series. Shea has now been in the playoffs. This will be the third time. Fred VanVleet is a champ, for sure. Dillon Brooks has been in a playoff series. The Rockets also don't have a solidified number one go-to guy that you can trust in a playoff series. They don't have that. They just don't, right? The Thunder do. You can say the Thunder aren't experienced, the Thunder whatever. I know for a fact Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is going to ball the fuck out for me in a playoff game. Like, I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to worry about that whatsoever. I have to, project a guy on the Rockets to turn into a playoff guy. Warriors didn't have much experience when they first won. Well, no, they had a deep playoff run the year before that. The most recent example is the Suns that come to my mind. The Suns went from not making the playoffs at all. They had that run in the bubble where they were undefeated in the bubble, still didn't make the play-in, but were undefeated in the bubble. Went and got Chris Paul, and they made the NBA Finals. Like that was rare. Look back to recent history. The Mavericks last year, those teams have been through war. Like, Luka's been to the conference finals. Kyrie's obviously been through wars. Like, that team was experienced. The Celtics were experienced. The finals before that, the Nuggets had been experienced. The Heat had been experienced. The year before that, the Warriors, obviously. The Celtics experience. Year before that, Bucks experience. The Suns were, the exception to the rule. And the Suns did have a ton of injury luck. That is true. The Suns had every single series, one of the best players was injured. So that's just what I'm thinking. J-Dub, Chet, SGA, or Wiggins, they can kill people like that. I'm just telling you guys, man. I just don't see him lose. I would be so shocked. So shocked. Fred VanVleet has no experience. Steven Adams, Dillon Brooks, Jeff Green. I mean, look at the names you're saying, though. Like, who's the guy in a playoff game? We've got 5 minutes left, and it's a 2-point game. The ball goes in whose hands? Who's carrying us to the end of the game? Is Western Conference Finals exit considered a failure for OKC? Yes, 100%. Yes. Yes. I would say so. Thunder fans don't agree from what I've seen, but they're lying to themselves. And they should have more confidence. They should. I know that they don't want to, and I know it's scary. They should have way more confidence. I could see the Mavs trade with the Thunder for the 2029 pick for the 2 first round this year and a second. Like the Mavs give a 2029 first, or where you reckon the Mavs finish by the end of the season? I do think the Mavs will end up in the play-in tournament. I'm just going to believe the Kings when they're telling us who they are right now and just think that they end up falling out. It doesn't help that the vibes behind the scenes seem terrible. Seem absolutely terrible. What's the point? I don't know. I mean, a play-in tournament. Play-in tournament's not the worst. Like if the Kings are going to lose a bunch of games and you're just find yourself in it, then okay. I can't believe how bad this Pat McAfee show is. The Mavs don't have back-to-backs, right? 80 gets to play. Good question. Do the Mavs have a back-to-back left on their schedule? Is this Clippers series here back-to-back? Yeah, they got the Clippers. Just like Clippers, 2 games in LA. Baseball series is back-to-back coming up. But that's it in terms of back-to-backs the rest of the season. Kings still have the hardest schedule. You mean the Suns? He made the finals of the play-in. People need to stop being so doom and gloom. I mean, there's not really a pathway for the Mavs to make the finals without Kyrie. If Kyrie were here, that's a different story. You could really start to talk yourselves into some things. But yeah, with no Kyrie, it's gonna be really difficult. But I mean, I don't know. My thing on tanking was always in regard to bringing AD back. I didn't think AD would be back this soon, but I was thinking maybe once April gets here, assess where you are. If it just looks like the Suns are losing, the Kings are losing, you just need to win a few games here in the play-in tournament, then fuck it, bring him back like at that point. But if you find yourself 2-3 games back to the play-in, then there's no point. You go on April 9th? No, dude, I'm not paying $300 to sit in the nosebleeds for a random regular season game to see Luka on the Lakers. Like, I've already seen Luka a million times in person. I get he's on the Lakers now, and I get the energy in the building will be crazy, and they'll probably do tribute stuff. I'm not paying $300 to go see a guy I've already seen a bunch. Is that crazy for saying that? Like I show up and I'm like, oh, yay, we traded this guy. Thank God. Luka has 34 points at halftime. Yay. So happy we traded this guy. And also, I'm so happy I paid $350 to be here. No, Luka's playing that night. Get serious. Silver would actually, I don't know. Silver's kind of a wuss, but Silver or the NBA would be furious. Oh, they'll do a tribute for sure. Silver's desperate. Yes. They can't not have that. Are you at peace? Read the Luka trade. Not define peace. I mean, it happened. I have a source with the Mavs that told me that. Told you what? He might not play either, is what I heard. He's gonna play. So let's sort of segue a little bit. Let's segue a tiny bit from that from the Luka trade is a nice segue. I can't believe there's just always something, but there was another interview last night. Rick Welts, the new CEO of the Dallas Mavericks, was on the broadcast last night. A lot of things were said. A lot of people are angry about him. I have two things to say about this. I have two things to say about the Rick Welts situation. One, I do think from a PR perspective, I'm looking at it and I'm like, all right, we're doing an interview with somebody who's kind of higher up with the Mavericks. Rick Welts, not a decision maker personnel-wise. I don't think he had any say really whatsoever on the Luka trade. Let's just start there. But we're in Madison Square Garden, and it's a broadcast, interview. Falwell, I think, is the greatest of all time. Love him to death. But it's on the Mavs network. Like, there's not going to be any hard-hitting questions, realistically. So an interview like this in Madison Square Garden, you do have to start to ask, like, all right, we've yet to have a Nico Harrison press conference with Dallas media. We've yet to have a press conference with anybody in the front office, any like key decision makers not named Jason Kidd with the Dallas media. So that's and you're looking at it. The only two times now that we've heard them like really speak, right, in interviews was right after the trade on the road in a hotel room in Cleveland, in a hotel, meeting room in Cleveland, Ohio, and now at a game in New York City. We've yet to see them in Dallas at all. So I think that's bad. And I would say at some point you're going to have to face the music, right? Now, with that being said, we were watching the game. We listened to the interview live. I've listened to the interview back in the clips. Guys, if anything Rick Welts said sparks a really, really strong reaction in you, really pisses you off, really makes you mad, I'm telling you guys, I just think for the mental health, it's just try your hardest to move on to something else. Because realistically, I don't think anything he said, everything he said was so PR. Safe. The quote that has people very upset, I'm going to play it right now, but I'm not going to show the clip because it has the game and I don't want to get clapped.
I'm listening every day to how fans are feeling about everything, not just the trade, okay? And I think
why is Twitter's audio so low?
Every day to when they get to know this ownership group, when they get to know what they're all about, I really do think you're going to see all the ingredients for success here.
All right, the audio is so low. I'm just going to read that. Time, wins, and losses will tell whether it was a good or bad deal. I'm going to promise to our fans right now, whatever trust we've lost, we're going to earn it back because we're going to do this the right way and win championships. So, yeah, maybe not the best answer. But a PR-driven answer. He works for the team. I've seen people who are like, dude, just admit it was a bad trade. I mean, nobody's going to fucking do that, man. Like, that's not going to happen. Like, he's not going to go on and be like, yeah, it was a terrible trade, but you know what? We just got to persevere now at this point. I don't know. This was just literally such a nothing interview to me. And then he also sort of hinted at, well, not hinted, he straight up said that the Mavs will be in a new arena for the 2031-2032 season. Not great, but to get mad at that when you hear his tone when saying that is funny to begin with. I mean, yeah, it's a PR. He's the CEO of the team. He's there to help build a new stadium. He's not there to make trades or do anything like that, right? That's just a PR-driven answer. Do you think they destroyed the Dirk statue when they moved to Irving? No. Come on, get serious. Get serious, man. They're not doing that shit. That would be beyond insane. Slightly, will you be on the pod tomorrow? I'm not going to be on the Tim McMahon pod. I'm not going to be on the Tim McMahon Locked On pod, no. Will I read his book? When does it come out? Maybe. So the stadium thing, I thought this was well known. The American Airlines Center lease is up in 2031. Part of the reason why Cuban sold the team was that a new stadium was coming and he didn't want to deal with it. Like, he said that when he sold the team. Whenever he sold the team, he mentioned that this building a new stadium, that he's not good at that stuff and he doesn't want to be involved. So that's not surprising to me. I did find some of the... So I said, what's wrong with the American Airlines Center? I've been to a few basketball stadiums. You know, American Airlines Center, I would say, is pretty strongly middle of the road. Like, it's fine. It's completely fine. It's in a really good location downtown. And it's good. It's a good stadium. It's big. You know, they got all the stuff you'd want on the concourse. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing terrible. You know, the Thunder Stadium, they're due for a new one. I would say the American Airlines Center is better than there. Although, just from a basketball fan perspective, the Thunder, going to a Thunder game and experiencing it there was better. And, you know, granted, that was a playoff game and everything, but you walk into the Thunder Stadium and you're there immediately. Like, the concourse is so small. Like, you're basically in the stadium. You're basically on your seat. The way that the seats kind of are, you're more over the team, if that makes sense. You're more packed in, so it's louder in there. The worst one I've been to is New Orleans, by far. By far. This is the worst one that I've been to. So anyways, they're going to build a new stadium. Nothing wrong with the American Airlines Center, but 30 years, I mean, it's been around 30 years. That's typically the lifespan of a stadium. They don't own it, and I think the idea behind building a new stadium is the Mavs will own it. That helps out tremendously when it comes to the value of the team, right? I love this. Fuck them and the team. It's like, okay, man. Like, what's the point of, like, responding to a guy who hosts a podcast about the Mavs with this? It's so strange. Nick, do us fans a solid and tell Rick, fuck him in that arena. Thanks. Why would they do that? I want the new stadium to be in Dallas, not Irving. Yes, that would be preferred. The Heat Stadium is so nice, and I love their Jumbotron. Slightly, this will get people mad, but I think McMahon is overhated. He's a shit stirrer. He stirs the pot. He works for ESPN. Like, he knows what he's doing. Nick does say that he wants to know how and why the fans feel the way they do. People still crashing out so hard. Yeah, I know. AC is a great arena. Let's not get tricked into thinking it's not. Again, I'd say American Airlines Center is about average as an arena. It's about average. It's in a great location with access to public transit and several restaurant bars. That much is true. It is in a great location. Moving to Irving would be bad for that reason, that it is in such a great location. The American Airlines Center is. The arena deal is strictly for greed and is not meant to actually serve fans. Let's not kid ourselves. Yeah, don't kid yourself. Every single arena deal is for greed. Every single one. Like that goes without being said. If you need that explained to you, I'm sorry. How have these other teams managed new arenas while having legend statues outside? I think they just move them, right? They just pick them up and move them. Victory Plaza on Nowitzki Way hits different. Yeah, I mean, in an ideal world, you could just sort of knock down that arena and build a new one. I would love that. Now, they're built like let's not play stupid, man. They're building a casino resort stadium. Like, that's what they're doing. That's what's going to happen. You think we'll ever know the extent to how much money they'll lose due to season tickets not being renewed and Mavs TV subscriptions canceled? I'd have to imagine they're doing pretty bad in the season ticket department. I would have to imagine it's not good. It's silly too because, yeah, and again, the Mavs don't own the American Airlines Center, so they can't like knock it down, right? What are the Stars going to do? I haven't followed that at all. It's only two because the new stadiums pay the owners back in probably like 5 years. Yeah, so the idea would be we want to build a new stadium and own the stadium. We want to build a new stadium, own the stadium. That way, when, you know, in years down the line, if we do decide to sell the team, it's going to go way up in value. I'm going to buy a season pass and sell them on the secondary market. Good luck. That feels like a bad investment right there. But the taxpayers pay for half. You can get taxpayers to fund some of it, and it's also a profitable casino. Fucking nuts. The city, I'd have to imagine if this were to happen, Irving, I would assume, Irving would give a solid chunk of money for it. Just because I think I think there'd be so much, they would see so much potential there for the casino resort, it being a destination, it being a place people travel to. Everyone I know said they won't renew season tickets. Yeah, I'm interested to see how that's going to go. But anyways, I really did think this was a softball-ass interview, which was to be expected, right? It's on Mavs TV. The pros had the AAC built with taxpayers' dime, which is how they made all of their wealth off the government contracts. So the LA fans are so weird. They already want Luka to get out. Us fans are way better. I have seen some of the opening salvos of I'm trying to tell you guys that it's gonna get nasty over on Twitter, and I've seen some of the opening salvos. The back and forth has started. Let Anthony Davis play consistently again, and those tickets will be right back. This is another reason why I think the Mavs are going to be uber aggressive in the offseason. They are always uber aggressive, but I think there might be a directive from up top. Like, hey, we really do desperately need something to get fans excited about, because trying to sell them on, hey, a full season of AD, especially with Kyrie going to be out for who knows how long, maybe the entire season. Good luck. Right? Good luck pitching that to fans. Now, if it's, hey, KD's here now, that'll get fans excited. Basketball fans are easy, man. They are. Watch Mavs get Harden or LeBron. LeBron's not leaving LA. LaMelo. Somebody. I just said Kevin Durant. A new toy. That's it. The unction of KD signs. That'd be such a hilarious team. LaMelo tapping into the Gen Z market. How the hell would he miss a whole year and a half? Well, so we're talking about season tickets. That's a difficult sell for anyone who's on the fence about season tickets. Hey, AD full season, no Kyrie. We don't know when he'll be back. Like, is that like how exciting or how excited are you to buy season tickets? You know, like how excited are you? LaMelo or Harden would be so funny. You don't need KD, you need a point guard. Yeah, true. They do. I can't wait to see what they do. It's going to be something. Sexton's an option. Kobe White's an option. I don't think Levine's impossible. I really don't. I don't think Levine's impossible. Trey, I don't really see Trey, to be honest with you. I think Kobe White's going to be expensive, as he should be. Ben Simmons. Would Levine even be bad? I'd really like him here. Levine would be a tough sell for me, honestly. And I do like him. I like him. I don't think Sacramento's a good fit for him. But that's a tough sale for me. With the idea being, like, when Kyrie comes back, we could throw out Kyrie, Levine. Like, I don't like that backcourt, really. I don't like that backcourt. They better not move to Irving. Well, I got bad news, man. I think they're moving to Irving. Zion would be funny. Yeah. Zion would be hilarious. You think they're going into the second apron? I'd be pretty surprised if they did. We don't need someone ball dominant, just a 6-man who could start level point guard. Yeah, like a Colin Sexton would be nice. Like that type of player. But I feel like a Colin Sexton is like that weird player where you'd want him and you want to go get him, and the Jazz probably want to hold on to him. So the price for him is probably higher than you'd want to pay for a guy like that, if that makes sense. You'd have to overpay basically to bring in Colin Sexton, and I don't think the Mavs are in a position to overpay. Anthony Simons, yeah, maybe. Cole Anthony, like think about those type of players. Problem is you don't want a big star point guard because Kyle will come back. You need someone who's good but can go to the bench. Yeah, and that's difficult. That's again, those are guys that are weird on the market because you kind of have to overpay to get them, and you don't feel great about it necessarily. I remember when I was doing the trade deadline prediction research thing, like there was talks about Anthony Simons being like second round picks, being his market. Which, if that's the case, yeah, maybe you tap into that. Maybe you tap into that in the summer. Cole Anthony, it felt like they were just looking to give him away at times. Maybe you tap into that. Former Laker fan here. Wow, former Laker fan. What's the story behind that? The D'Lo AD duo actually works, but you need to compensate with enough defense and rebounding. D'Lo would actually be kind of interesting. I've thought about it a little bit more. Poole. Poole. What about Igor Dimon? Igor Dimon. Snag Nas from Mini and use Gaff and other pieces to get a legit playmaker. I would love Nas Reed. His market's going to be big. Nolan Traore, is he ready to go? The Bulls are keeping Josh Giddey, as they should. I mean, Dylan Harper, yeah, that would be great. Would love that. What would be the benefit of D'Lo or only as a gap stop point guard? So it's D'Lo would be this sort of, he can start while Kyrie's out. He gives you shooting. He does give you some playmaking. And then if Kyrie comes back and D'Lo's still on the team, you can move D'Lo to the bench or whatever and just have that coming off your bench. Interesting. Like D'Lo's a free agent. What is his... I mean, surely he's just a mid-level guy, right? There's no way. There's no way he's going for more than that. I remember you getting dragged for saying Giddey has more potential than a pick in the 20s. Yeah, I mean, the Giddey trade was a perfect example of how draft picks have completely given every NBA fan brain rot. Draft pick brain rot. That we've seen 5, 4, 5, 6 first-round picks get traded, and that's what we expect every trade to be like now. I don't think D'Lo would want to sit on the bench. Well, hey, buddy. Enjoy Brooklyn then. Like, maybe he just stays in Brooklyn. I don't know. Right, like, if you're the Bulls, do I want a shitty Thunder first-round pick, or would I rather just... I like Josh Giddey. Maybe the Bulls liked him, and that gives us something interesting. And Giddey's been pretty fucking solid lately. It's. I mean, I'm not defending the Luka trade whatsoever, but it's. They should have gotten way more. Absolutely. I mean, I'm not defending them on that front. They should have absolutely robbed the Lakers. The Lakers should have nothing left in the tank after the Luka trade, right? But yeah, people are acting like they didn't get AD. Like, AD is more valuable than really any first-round pick the Lakers could give you. And probably all of their first-round picks combined. Like, AD is more valuable. Lakers had nothing to give. Oh, I mean, I don't like this. We're rehashing this at this point, but how do you not leave that trade with all of their first-round picks, right? And I know I'm contradicting myself, but it's just the principle of it. Like, I need everything from you. And yeah, I want Reeves. It was only 2. Well, they should have got the other one. And then a swap. And I don't care about Connect. I really don't. I feel nothing about Connect. We are legit in here trying to find a guy like AR-15. I know. If they'd gotten Austin Reeves in the trade, definitely you feel different about things. You do start to feel a little bit differently about, no, I'm not saying about the trade, but I'm saying like about the Mavs' future. Wow, McMahon, tell us how you really feel. But Doncic's body became bloated when he missed all of training camp in the preseason while recovering from his calf injury. His father joined him in Vegas and stayed in Dallas for a while, and they enjoyed plenty of festive feasts. Doncic's weight ballooned into the high 260s, a significant factor in sluggish start by his high standards. All right. Amazon.com. Wonder Boy. Purchase. I'm in. I'm bought in. Festive feasts. I'm in. Festive feast is so funny, man. So funny. That's from the bonus chapter. Oh my God. Festive feasts. What does that even mean? What is considered a festive feast? Definitely read it and give us your review. Should I? Tex-Mex. I mean, honestly, and this might be a little xenophobic of me, but I hear Luka and his dad and Festive Feast, and I think those videos of it's like the Balkan breakfast. You guys know what I'm talking about? The ones where it's like, and it looks good to me. Maybe I'm wrong. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? where it's just like bread, meats, all of like the vegetables. You're just eating raw onions and peppers. Like, I'm not going to lie. I see those videos and I'm like, that shit looks fucking good. Cheeses. Like, I feel like I would fuck that up. Imagine Luka retires early to become a food blogger. Now, Luka's going to Saudi Arabia, man. Balkan breakfast is good. Tried it for a week. Levine's just not going to work. No, I agree. I don't know what to believe from McMahon and what not. It is really researched or just stuff that Nico told him to write. So can I ask why exactly? So I've seen people say, oh, it's a book about Luka from a guy written by a guy who Luka doesn't like. Now, I do want to say, when it comes to, and I've thought this for a long time, when it comes to books about people, documentaries about people, I don't necessarily want there to be a close relationship there because it's not a trustworthy narrator anymore, right? Now, Tim McMahon, based off his history, based off the fact that he is employed by the worldwide leader in sports, is there probably some, sensationalism in this book? Probably, absolutely. Absolutely, there's some sensationalism. How can someone write a book about someone who doesn't like them? Well, it happens a lot. You could know a lot about somebody based off following them, Tim McMahon has spent a long time covering the Mavs. Talking to people, being around people who know way more than any of us. Didn't he reveal the book before the trade? Oh, this book's been in the works for a long time. For a long time. I mean, how long has he been working on this book? It's been talked about for a while. Dude, Tim McMahon was banned from the Mavs stadium for a long time. Like, he's not like super buddy with the team. Maybe he is now with Nico in charge, but he wasn't. Mavs front office hates Tim. I don't know if the new regime hates Tim. I really don't. Write some positive shit. Oh yeah, Kid did say that too. Cuban does not like him. No. He's absolutely a mouthpiece for Nico now. Can I ask why we think that? Is there real proof behind that? Because I could believe that. I could believe that. Is it just because Tim sort of has been saying the same thing as the front office did after the trade? He had comments from Nico an hour or so after the trade, exclusive quotes. Oh, that's true. That's a good point. That is a good point. He did have the first quotes from Nico. That's true. That's true. Interesting. Tim claimed the death threats thing without proof. Look, not defending Nico, not doing any of that. I was on Twitter, guys. I was seeing replies to my tweets about Nico. I don't think there needed to be proof. Like, we saw them. And they were all jokes, and I think they were all jokes and trolling, right? But all it does take is one person to not be trolling. Grant Avseth clears that mouthpiece. Dallas PD, no evidence of threats. I guess X is more suffice than Dallas PD. I think there's a different level, and I don't know. I don't want to get too deep into this, but for a police department, I think there's a different credibility for like a legit threat than like, hey, I'm hiring security because I've seen a lot of shit on Twitter that scares me. Does that make sense? I mean, the whole thing was a mess. I've seen Tim chatting up with Nico before games like they're buds. I could believe it if you guys say it. I will say, before Nico, he was not super buddy-buddy with the organization. But I could see him being buddy-buddy now. If you want to say, like, oh, Nico just needed like an ally in the media, I can maybe see it. Yeah, and then Tim going at it with Great Half Seth was not a good look at all. No. Not a good look. People say so much death threats type stuff on Twitter day in and day out. Using that was just for narrative purposes. Yeah, I mean, I think it was just probably the sheer volume of it. All right, let's move on. It's just still so crazy how we just still have so much content to talk about from this trade. It's just insane to me. If you guys want me to, I'll read the book and relay information to you all. If you guys want. In the book, he goes after Carlisle and Cuban with no mercy, but there's very little negativity about Nico because he's still a business relationship with him. But I also... I also, like, if memory serves me correctly, I think he's been talking about this book for a long, long, long time. And I could be wrong. I'll be honest, I can see Luka leaving LA in 2026 after he makes up a chunk of that lost 100 million plus. So he can pursue his own destiny. Every superstar low-key wants to experience free agency. I would say, I admittedly before the trade had felt 99.9% sure that Luka was going to stay in. I was not concerned about Luka leaving on his own regards. I really wasn't. Yeah, I saw Steve Nash as the new co-host with LeBron. The book was supposed to be released after the 2023 season originally, but got delayed. Okay, so if that's the case, and assuming he probably went back and made some changes, but if that's the case, then what? That's just 1 year of Nico at that point, right? Or is that year 2 of Nico? Year 2, right? Yeah. Luka going back to the Mavs would be hilarious. That's not happening. But I could see a Miami, Orlando, Denver. I was very confident Luka was going to stay in Dallas. I'm not as confident as LA. But I'd say 60 or 70%. I think it's more likely he stays than goes. I remember hearing him talk about the book back in 22. Yeah, it's been in the works for a long time. All right, is it time? Baseball season's quickly approaching. Thompson and Gafford for Austin Reeves and Finney Smith. Yeah, there was that Bleacher Report mock trade. Gafford going to the Lakers with Clay and Austin Reeves coming back, and people are like, "Oh, Mavs get fleeced again." I'm like, "Really? Oh." I'd very happily do that trade. Very happily. Mavs keep helping the Lakers. I mean, that'd be good for the Lakers, I think, getting a guy like Gafford. But if I'm the Mavs, that makes a lot of sense for me. All right, folks, baseball starts tomorrow. I'm very excited. This is the most excited I've been for opening day in a long time. So I'm feeling that there's a good chance that I sort of I stay strong this year when it comes to watching it. It also helps that playback.tv/slightly biased. Playback hasn't confirmed this, but this is a good hint that baseball will be something that we can watch on playback this year. Mario Baseball starts tomorrow, hopefully, on Nintendo Direct. Wait, what? Mario Baseball might be dropping another game? If Sally Bias, what the fuck is this chat? If Sally Bias is not drinking much water during his streams, it's something to be mindful of for his overall well-being, but a brain aneurysm wouldn't be a direct consequence of that behavior. Thank you for asking ChatGPT about me suffering a brain aneurysm. It's a little scary. Let me take a drink of water. I would love a new Mario Baseball. Would love it. Well, I'm not sure unless they've announced it. I'm sure they'd have to announce it very soon that it'll be available right away. Maybe it's something that's available throughout the season, later in the season, but I'm excited about it. So anyways, I've done some research. I know the players. I know some of the prospects. I know some of the injuries. I'm not an expert. This is a pure casual perspective here, but I have my predictions for the upcoming season. I'm so excited. I have some, some pretty out there bold ones. MLB last season on ESPN, and that's a lot of respect gained for MLB for, strong arming ESPN. I love that for them. That makes me incredibly happy for them. Genuinely good for them. They deserve it. Fuck ESPN. Also, I want to say, this isn't my opening day, right? The opening day in Japan, I think, is the dumbest shit in the world. No offense to Japan. It has nothing to do with Japan. Would love to go. Would love to visit. It's on my number one on my list of places I want to visit. Japan, really just a trip to Asia in general. Never been. Would love to go. Love to visit Japan. Would love to visit Thailand. Would love to visit Korea. Would love to visit China. China is very high up there as well. So anyways, it's just the fact that really we're doing opening day, a week before the real opening day at 4 a.m. I think it's the dumbest shit in the world. So anyways, tomorrow is the real one. Tomorrow is the real opening day, and I have my predictions across the entire league. So let's not waste any time. We're starting the American League. Wide open. I almost said conference. Wide open league this year. Wide open league. There doesn't seem to be a top dog the way that there is in the National League. Now, just looking at these teams, right, doing some projections, running a bunch of stuff through my database that I've created myself, the American League seems, a level below the National League. It does seem like top 3, top 4, top 5 teams in baseball might be in the National League, which is interesting. So the American League feels open. I mean, there's arguments to be made for a lot of these teams. And the beautiful thing about baseball is anybody can win at the end of the day. Let's start in the American League East. And I want to know y'all's thoughts as well. Any baseball heads in the chat, seam heads in the chat, please, feel free to chime in. The American League East, winning it, I have the Baltimore Orioles. They are coming off of an interesting season. I like their team. I'm a little bit worried about some of the stuff going on. Gunnar Henderson starting the season on the IL is a little bit scary to me, but it sounds like he'll be okay in the long term. Grayson Rodriguez starting the season on the IL. Don't love that, obviously. They lose Corbin Burns. Don't love that, obviously. But I still really like their team. They lost Anthony Santander. But, they went out and they got Tyler O'Neill, who I like quite a bit, just based off of him having a really good MLB The Show card a few years ago. And also, Adley Rutschman, who I love, right? I was a catcher growing up, played catcher. I always have love for my catchers. I love Adley Rutschman. I think he's a perfect quintessential catcher, right? Switch hitter, incredible defensively, a lot of pop in the bat. Terrible second half of the season. For him. He had a great spring training. Jackson Holiday had a great spring training. They got a lot of good prospects as well in their system. I think Baltimore is going to win it. I like their team quite a bit this year. And I think maybe they exercise some demons in the playoffs because they've gotten swept 2 years in a row. I think they exercise some demons. I have the Red Sox finishing second. They've made a lot of moves. And I'm a big believer, right? Baseball, it feels like this happens quite a bit. And there's historical examples. I think about the Marlins. What year is that? Like 2011, when the Marlins went fucking crazy in free agency and brought in Jose Reyes and Mark Burley. Heath Bell, did they bring him in? And they were incredibly disappointing. And what was the year where the Padres did something similar? The Padres brought in, who do they bring in? Matt Kemp. Who else? I'm trying to remember who the Padres spent crazy on that one year, and then they were disappointing. But it does feel like when teams kind of go for it, it feels like they get rewarded, right? 2015. Yeah, okay. 2015 sounds more right than what I said. Kimbrel. Yeah, they went and got Craig Kimbrel. Hosmer. Yeah. Yikes. But Boston, I like what they did. They already had a good young core in place. Right? You've got Devers. You've got Duran. Sorry, I just think of Jalen Duran. You've got Duran. You've got some interesting young pitchers on your staff. You go out and you get Alex Bregman, who I love. You know, I think that's a great move for them. Now that he's not on the Astros anymore, I could say that I love him. You go out and get Lucas Giolito. I like that a lot. I think the team's going to be good. I think they make the playoffs. Yellow highlighter means I think they make the playoffs. So I think they're a wild card team. The Blue Jays third. I almost had the Blue Jays in the playoffs. Such a strange team. They went out and they made some moves. They got Hoffman. I like him in the bullpen. Santander. They needed some hitting, right? They were below league average last year in slugging, runs scored, home runs. Now, I just want to tell you guys, I started doing a good amount of research on this. American League East, I realized I'm spending way too much time on this. So this is the division I did the most research about. Bo Bichette missed half the year last year with injury, had a down year. He's gonna have a huge break. He's gonna have a huge bounce back season. I think that goes without being said. Vlad Jr., contract year, he's gonna mash. That goes without being said. Alejandro Kirk, they just extended him. He's gonna mash. That goes without being said. I worry about their pitching, but I think they'll be competitive, and I think that they'll be good. I think they missed the playoffs just a little bit. I think this division is going to be so tough that you're going to have some really good teams that might be better than the record shows just because they beat up on each other. I have the Yankees at fourth. I think it's going to be a bad year for the Yanks. And I have a soft spot for the Yanks. I love Aaron Judge. Here's the thing. I don't like when teams go into the season getting kind of last second fucked by injuries. Losing Garrett Cole for the whole year right before the season starts. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. Losing Soto. Brutal. Bellinger's going to be good there. Defensively, they'll be way better this year than they were last year. But man, I worry about them. I do. Their lineup just, to me, you're really relying on a lot of things. You know, Dominguez could be good. Right. They've got some interesting young guys. Whenever people doubt the Rays is usually when they do their best work. So I do have the Rays fifth. And keep in mind, I think this is going to be a really tough division. So I'm not saying the Rays are going to be shit. I tinkered with all of these teams making the playoffs at some point. Because I do think the Rays, they're the Rays. Aura check, right? Vibes, aura check. They're playing in a single A stadium for the whole season, right? I'm sorry. That hurts them, in my opinion. That hurts them. So that's why they're at the bottom. Is it fair? No. But it's the way that it is. So that's what I have the East looking like. Orioles win, Red Sox second, make the playoffs. Let's get to the Central. Central's tough. I had a hard time. And I kind of went out there with the pick to win the division. This team, I like their top end of their rotation quite a bit. I think it's very strong. I think their back end of their bullpen is fucking disgusting. And they've got a lot of bounce back candidates in their lineup. They've got some sneaky MVP candidates in their lineup if they can stay healthy in an American League where MVP could be kind of open, right? I have the Minnesota Twins winning the division. They were really embarrassing last year. this is just a pure vibe thing for me. There's something about the Royals where I look at them and I don't know. Last year just felt like a fever dream. Kind of the same thing for the end of the season with the Tigers. Not that I don't think those teams will be good. I have the Royals finishing second and making the playoffs. Bobby Witt is a monster. You abandoned the all caps. Oh, whoops. I didn't realize I did that. But I like the top end of the Twins rotation. And I think their bullpen's going to be monstrous. So I think they're going to be a good team. And I'm a believer in them. Baseball always has at least one or two teams that are like, holy fuck, they made the playoffs every year. And I think that could be the Twins this year. The Royals, I think, will be good. Their lineup isn't the best, I don't think. But Bobby Witt's going to put up, 9, 10, 10 and a half WAR. They've got a good rotation if they're healthy. Like, they'll be a good team. I don't think they're ready yet. I don't think they're ready for the next step. You called yourself a casual, but these are pretty good takes. I need you to understand, I used to be so in on baseball. I know all the talking points. I know what to look for when you're talking about good teams. Football, I'm a casual. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. Baseball, I know what I'm saying. I just haven't followed it so long that I don't know some of the players and some of the prospects as well as I used to. I have the Guardians missing the playoffs, finishing third in the division. I feel like them losing Josh Naylor is going to hurt quite a bit, huh? Like, where are they hoping to get the power? 30 home runs. 30 home runs is a lot. I know they brought in Carlos Santana, who I can't believe is still fucking going. I mean, how old is Carlos Santana? Carlos Santana's just been getting it done for what feels like 20 years. Our former farmhand, Cole Reagans, is not a bad bet for Cy Young. I thought about him. Oh, you have to do Carlos Santana baseball because the guitar player pops up. Carlos Santana is almost 40 years old. 39. How about that? Good for him. Crazy career. 15 years. Back in Cleveland where it all started. So that's fun. But, Bieber's out to start the season. I worry about their rotation. They got a nasty back end of the bullpen. With Clase, former Rangers farmhand as well. Wow, Carlos Santana won Gold Glove, 38 years old. Former Rangers farmhand, traded for Corey Kluber. That's tough. It's a tough pill to swallow right there. That was a tough one. It's shades of Anthony Davis on the Mavs, right? But anyways, Jose Ramirez is incredible. One of the best players on the planet. And he's going to do his thing. They've got, what's his name? How do you pronounce it? Campiano? Camarza? What is it? He threw a no-hitter against the Rangers, too, in 2021. Kluber, yeah, that's true. Kluber did do that. How many pitches did he end up throwing? Wasn't it like 2 innings? How many? Just hilarious. Absolutely hilarious that happened. Travis Bazzana. Who the fuck was I thinking of? Travis Bazzana. Could mash this year. But I do kind of worry about their lineup. So I have them third. I have the Tigers finishing fourth. Fever Dream made the playoffs last year. Their rotation is going to be nasty. The top of the rotation, at least. Scooble. They brought Flaherty back. Like, that's a good 1-2. That's a great 1-2 punch. Is that in contention for the best 1-2 punch in the league? It has to be, right? Just off the top of my head. I mean, that's got to be in contention for one of the best 1-2 punches in the entire MLB. I kind of thought the Tigers would spend a little bit more in the offseason, right? Bregman, everyone talked about Bregman for them. That would have been really nice, in my opinion. But I do like their team. I think the Tigers could absolutely make the playoffs. All 4 of these teams are tough. Then you have the shitty-ass White Sox, which goes without saying they're shit, right? So God bless them, but they're terrible. The White Sox did something similar to what I said earlier a couple years ago, didn't they? Where they just randomly spent a bunch of money. And I was like, oh, shit, the White Sox. Dodgers have a good 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You could probably go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 punch for the Dodgers. White Sox are a farm system for other teams. I mean, they'll be better than last year. They won't be the worst team of all time, surely. But Gallen, Burns, Kelly for Snakes is elite. That's pretty good, too. Skubal, you might be getting the best pitcher in the American League. And Flaherty's fucking nasty, too. Luis Robert getting traded this year? Lou Bob. All right, American League West. Here we go. We've got the Rangers winning it. I do think, right, if we just look at it from an outsider's perspective, just look at it, I do think they're the best team in the West pretty comfortably, right? Their lineup is disgusting. It was very disappointing last year, a lot of different things. You go and you look at Adolis Garcia's numbers, just fall off of a cliff. And Adolis has had an incredible spring. I think you could chalk up a lot of it because I was looking at it and I was like, okay, there's a couple different things here that are telling me all I need to know about Adolis' season last year, right? Like, look at these. Look at the Baseball Savant page. It's terrible. You know, the exit velo, the barrel percentage, hard hit percentage, all high, right? But this is a guy was one of the better defenders in all of baseball for a while. Look at the fielding. Look at the range. Look at the sprint speed. And when we compare that to years past for him, I think you start to paint the picture for yourself that injuries just kind of derailed the season for Adolis Garcia last year. Like 2021, one of the best defensive outfielders in the game, right? 2022, again, not one of the best anymore, but still a great defensive outfielder. 2023, one of the best defensive outfielders in the game. I think you could chalk up a lot of what happened last year at Adolis Garcia to injuries. And he's had a great spring training. I think Wyatt Langford will be a top, 5 player in the American League, potentially. I believe in that breakout for him. He's been incredible. Spray every fucking time he hits the ball. Every time the ball leaves Wyatt Langford's bat, it sounds like a nuke has exploded. Simeon is due for a bounce back year as well. Josh Young, hopefully he stays healthy. And Berger's going to mash in this lineup. Jock Peterson is going to mash in this lineup. And then you bring in Higashioka to platoon with Jonah Heim. And we know Corey Seager, if he's healthy, he's an MVP candidate every single year. That goes without being said. And then you have DeGrom, if he's healthy. He's a lot of people's Cy Young pick if he's healthy. You've got DeGrom. You've got Eovaldi. We know what Eovaldi's going to give you on a night in, night out basis. And then can we get Kumar or Leiter to have a good season? One of those two would help out tremendously. And hopefully Evan Carter figures out whatever the fuck he's got to figure out in AAA and comes back in as a contributor. Worry about the bullpen a little tiny bit. The bullpen is weird in baseball. It is. You never really know. And Kumar had a great close to spring training over the last week or two. I'm pretty fucking pumped about him. That curveball is just disgusting. Those guys stay healthy and give you 130, 40, 140, 50 innings. I feel pretty good about them. And I think they got some guys in the bullpen that have good stuff. I think the Rangers will be incredible this year. I think they're the best team in the American League. All right, next, I do have the Seattle Mariners finishing second. Rotation from hell. It's just absolutely disgusting. Good luck scoring runs on this team. And I do think they'll get more offense this year. That's really it. They'll have a full season of Randy Arozarena, who, how can you not love him, huh? After that Babe Ruth-type performance in the 2020 playoffs. You just got to love him. They can't be any worse hitting. That is true. There's some crazy stats out there about them. Like their numbers when they score 3 runs or some shit. Like an incredibly low bar. They're pretty much unbeatable when they score 3 or 4 runs. The problem is getting there. The problem is getting there, of course. But Julio Rodriguez, this could be the year. This could be the year. What does Julio Rodriguez baseball savant page say? He's a historically he's a very slow starter, isn't he? Maybe we get a full year from J-Rod. I mean, all of this looks great. Bat speed in the 96th percentile. Mariners rotation due for bad injury luck. Their rotation's so deep though that even if one of those guys goes down, you still feel okay. And they've got a great bullpen as well. Did you see what LeBron said about the Luka trade? Is it worth my time? LeBron, Adam Silver in the NBA made the trade, confirmed. What did LeBron say? So anyways, Houston Astros I have finishing third and missing the playoffs. I've seen a lot of people be like, yeah, the Astros will still be good. I think this is the classic. This team has historically been really good. I'm scared to say that it might be over for them. We see this from time to time. I'm scared to be, I don't want to be wrong and say that it's over for this team and it not be over. I just don't know with this one. I mean, I feel like they've just lost so much in recent years. You know, they've lost so much in recent years. Does that make sense? That it's kind of difficult. And I hate them as well. So factor that into the equation. I have the Astros finishing third. I have Sacramento finishing fourth. Look, man, you guys want to know who my guy this year is? I'm going to watch the team probably from afar, admittedly, but I'll keep up with. I watched him. I'm familiar with his game last year, his second half last year. His second half last year, and his TikTok edits are some of the best. So when it comes to aura, we might be leading the charge here. This is my guy, Lawrence Butler. I'm all in. I'm all in on Lawrence Butler. Some of the coolest TikTok edits. A beautiful lefty swing. I love him. What was that? The 3 home run game against Cincinnati last year? I love him. I'm putting my flag on the Lawrence Butler hill. And guys, if you're a baseball fan and for some reason this is the first you've seen me, just know, guys, whenever I start to, plant my flag on a guy's hill, he ends up becoming a monster. Usually that's how it goes, right? Lawrence Butler could be the SGA of MLB. He's got aura. He does have aura. And that's what baseball needs. They need guys with aura. Love him. That's why the Mariners, like, Julio Rodriguez has a ton of aura. Boom. Boost. The Rangers, do the Rangers have an aura guy? Wyatt Langford's got some aura. Adolis has, of course. Adolis has insane aura. Like, Adolis walks up to the plate in the postseason, and you just look at his aura, he's like, oh, this guy's going to fucking hit 12 home runs this postseason, isn't he? Like, he just has that about him. Right? But Wyatt Langford's got aura. For sure. What did he tell? He told the catcher a couple days ago that was a fucking ball. I love him. He's got a lot of dog in him. Wyatt Langford is my guy. Like, there's no doubt about it. Wyatt Langford's my guy. He can't miss. Seager has this sort of quiet, I know I'm incredible aura that I like as well, right? It's the quiet sort of, look, I know I'm a motherfucker. Like, I don't need to be doing any extra shit. You know what I've got going on. I like that quite a bit about a player. Siegs has Cole's aura. And I have the Angels finishing last. Somebody go trade for Mike Trout, please. That's it. So, like, Seager has like I'm just kind of quietly go about my business. But whenever I do pop off, it's like, oh shit, Seager's feeling it. How's the top of the rotation look like for the Rangers? I mean, you're getting from Nathan Eovaldi. Can we get 130, 140 innings from DeGrom? That's what you got to ask yourself. Seager at the Kawhi aura. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good comparison. Can you get 130, 140 innings out of DeGrom? If so, he might win the Cy Young, and you're cruising. If no, well, we can't say we're surprised. Can one of the young guys pan out for you and be healthy? MVP, I have Bobby Witt Jr. winning it. I just think he'll be the best player in the league this year. And baseball, in case you don't know for sure, like maybe you don't follow baseball much. Baseball is much different than basketball. Your team does not need to be good to win MVP. Like it goes to the best player. It does not matter what your record is whatsoever. So I have Bobby Witt Jr. winning the MVP this year. I have Logan Gilbert winning Cy Young. I think he's going to have a great year. And I have Kumar Rocker winning Rookie of the Year. Come on, baby. I think he's going to be great. I do. Rookie of the Year is like next to impossible to predict. Best player should always be MVP. So, I mean, basketball is different, though, where it's like if you have the best player on your team, you're going to be really good. 8K in 4 innings yesterday. Woo! $98. Goodbye. That nasty-ass curveball. 97 up in the zone, paired with that curveball. Yeah, good fucking luck, buddy. Three walks, three hits in 4 innings, but 8 strikeouts. I mean, he's nasty as hell. I feel like he'll be one of those guys that gets better over the course of the season by a lot. And you're kind of looking at, like, it's August 24th, and you're like, have you guys seen Kumar's stats over the last 2 months? Have you guys seen Kumar's last 10 starts? National League. So I did no research on the National League. This is all vibes. All vibes, okay? All vibes. NL East, I got the Phillies winning. The East seems like it's going to be a bloodbath, huh? I think the Phillies are going to be great. And I think the Braves are also going to be great. Like, those two teams feel interchangeable to me. Mid-90s in wins seem on the table for both of those teams. The Braves feel like a massive, major bounce-back candidate, right? With Acuna hopefully being... when's Acuna scheduled to... What's his story? When are they expecting him back? He tore his ACL at the end of last May, and he's expected to be back in the early regular season. So he should be back somewhat soonish. But they got Jurickson Profar. Hey, man. Former number 1 overall prospect, Jurickson Profar, mind you. Okay. Mets starting rotation is questionable. I have the Mets third and making the playoffs. So I think the NL East sends 3 teams to the postseason. I love the Mets, and I'm going to root for them. There's something that for some reason they've always had a place in my heart. I don't know why it is. Both New York teams, big market bias, I guess. I like the Mets. I love Juan Soto. Juan Soto is my favorite player in Major League Baseball, not on the Texas Rangers. So I love him. The lineup is nasty, and I love Lindor too. I love this Mets team, and I want them to be great. I love Francisco Lindor. I love Juan Soto. Let's lock it in. Let's go. Let's win the whole fucking thing. Big Meat Pete. Like, how can you not love Pete Alonso, right? Kind of, what was the contract that he signed? It was like a weird kind of, he could be a free agent again this year, right? $19-year-olds who started shortstop in Frisco: Elvis Andrus, Jurickson Profar, Sebastian Walcott. I'm all in on Walcott. 2 years, $50 million, multi-year with opt-outs. Yeah, so I think he's going to have a big season again just because, you know, what, he sort of has to. So what's their... They lost some guys. They lost some pitchers, right? What's their rotation going to look like would be my question. That's kind of the concern, right? They got Clay Holmes starting on opening day. So do you like baseball more than football from before? Yeah. Clay Holmes, mind you, hasn't started a game since 2018, and he's starting opening day. Just worried that our pitching is kind of thin. Had a great spring training. You got Kodai Senga. And then, of course, you've got Edwin Diaz in the back of the pen, throwing fucking gas. I like their team. Nationals finishing 4th. I think they'll be pretty good. He's always hurt. He fell off. Edwin Diaz. There was a point in time when, like, and the Mets, and this is also why I love the Mets, their broadcast is 10 out of 10. Their broadcast is 10 out of 10. They get it right. If I were a network head of a network, I would tell everybody on my staff, watch a Mets game. This is how I want our broadcast to look. They just get it. They have they show Edwin Diaz entering the game. They got the trumpet song playing, the light show's going on. It's like, oh shit. Like, oh shit, here they come. And they also do the great thing where they'll have Edwin Diaz looking at, and they've got like the 50-50 cam where it's like Edwin Diaz is about 50% opacity and you see the batter. It's just like peak drama. They get it. They just get it and they understand it. So shout out to them, really. Maybe I'll move them up to 1, and then the Marlins finishing last. You guys want to know, where I'm at? And this is like 2000s level shit, right? When I was like 12 and in love with baseball. Whenever I first did this, I had the Florida Marlins written down. When did they change to Miami? I mean, that was like in the early 2010s, 2012. I wrote it down and I was like, it's Miami, right? I was like, it's surely Miami. But Florida still kind of rolls off the tongue better, in my opinion. Central. This is a tough one right here, man. And this was one of my big... This was one of my big sort of out there. This was my out there opinion. Miami has way better beaches than Los Angeles. Oh, dude. Florida's beaches shit all over California's beaches. That's not up for debate. This was a toughie. This was my sort of out there prediction. I have the Cincinnati Reds winning the Central. I kind of think this is their year. I've been a believer in them for a while. Weirdly enough, I have a friend who's like a diehard Reds fan. Just kind of one of those weird things. I do really like this team. Ellie De La Cruz is an MVP candidate. You really didn't do research on the NL? Hold on. Matt McClain, who missed the entire season last year, in just 89 games in his rookie year in 2023. 89 games. How about a 127 OPS plus? How about a 3.6 win above replacement? Something to think about. Playing shortstop and second base. They are already so hurt. Teams get hurt. I'm bought in on the Reds. Steer and Stevenson out. I'm bought in on the Reds. With the Cubs finishing second and the Brewers finishing third. The Reds are my Hornets. That's true. The Reds are my Hornets. Central divisions are always a crapshoot, with the Pirates 4th and Cardinals 5th. The Brewers do find a way. That was the one. They're just a machine. They're kind of a machine, right? So it feels kind of risky leaving them out the mix entirely. No, Chicago, they made huge moves, right? I mean, going and getting Kyle Tucker's, that's a big boy move right there. And I really do respect that. I just love when teams go for it. I love it. It's great. I'm a huge fan. I think they'll be good. I think they'll be competitive. Let me have my cards hope almost as depressing as the Mavs. So from what I could gather from my brief research about this is I don't think this division will be terrible. Like, I don't think there's going to be a terrible team in this division. Right? Even the Pirates have a disgusting pitching staff, but they won't be able to score runs. But the Cardinals have a lot of bounce back potential from a lot of guys. Cardinals will be terrible. If there's any team that would be terrible, I feel like it would be the Cardinals. Cardinals going to win maybe 70. All right. And then in the West, does it really fucking matter? Not really. Dodgers already 2-0. Oh, wait. I meant to say this about the Cubs. And this might sound stupid. And maybe this is my basketball brain kicking in here. You guys tell me if this sounds stupid. So the Cubs started their season in Japan. Tomorrow night, they go to Arizona to take on the Diamondbacks, who are going to be a really good team this year. They play them like the first real series of the season. Is there a psychological, you look up and you're 0-4 to start the season? Like, let's say Corbin Burns pushes tomorrow, you lose that game. Like, if you start the season 0-4, like maybe you're 1-4, 5 games into the season. I don't know. I feel like that's such a weird, wonky start. Not that it matters. Baseball's so long, but, you know, just kind of one of those things. Oh, Burns isn't pitching this series, but point still stands. Wait, why the fuck is Corbin Burns not starting opening day? So when did that become a thing? Like, back in my day, you just put your best pitcher started opening day. Like, why is Burns not pitching tomorrow night? Gallen, yeah, Gallen's a monster, but oh, wait, you guys think Gallen's better than Burns? Maybe. What the hell is this text I just got? The Browns are trying to trade for Dak Prescott. It's all about matchups now, analytics. Okay, fine. My point still stands. All right. NL West, Los Angeles Dodgers, Arizona Diamondbacks finishing second and making the playoffs. They're kind of similar to the Rangers a bit. The Diamondbacks are. Both teams in the World Series in 2023. Both teams had World Series hangover last year. Both teams are going to absolutely destroy baseballs. Right? You've got your super duper megastar Corbin Carroll. Rangers have Corey Seager, different positions, but the point still stands. And just top to bottom in the lineup, your lineup's disgusting. Yeah, the Diamondbacks did have the best offense last year. The Rangers were a below average offensive team. Like, actually a bad offensive team last year. Yeah, Monty's getting Tommy John. That one sucks. Their top end of the rotation's pretty nasty. They got Justin Martinez in the back end of the bullpen, who just throws the most disgusting splitter I've ever fucking seen. I can't believe he throws that pitch. Honestly, knew next to nothing about him until semi-recently, and I cannot believe how disgusting. Cannot believe how disgusting that pitch is. So I think the Diamondbacks make it. I have the Giants finishing third. I kind of like their team. I was looking at it. I kind of like what they've got going on. It feels like they're moving in the right direction. I just think this division is going to be so hard that I don't know if they'll have enough. But I do sort of like it. The Padres are a weird spot for me where, you know, I don't like when we're going into a season. And this is kind of contradicting myself a little bit. But because I said I like the Blue Jays, and they're kind of in a similar boat. I don't love like Dylan Cease could be traded type of talk heading into the season. And their roster is good. Their roster is good, and they should still be good. But I don't like we're kind of we're trying to save some money. Like, I don't like that type of talk heading into a season whatsoever. Just from a vibes perspective. That's all. They should still be great, though. Just think this is going to be such a tough division right here. And the Rockies, like, I don't know. The Rockies are bad, and they're going to lose a lot of games. But I feel like I looked at their roster, and I looked at some of their numbers and stuff. They're negotiating a Dak Prescott trade as we speak. Says who? Says who? Rockies are fundamentally fucked. Well, they've got that pitching prospect, Chase Dolander. That's his name. He seems to be the guy. From what I heard somebody talking about him, and it was like, if this guy doesn't pan out, there might never be a pitcher for the Rockies. Like, if this guy doesn't pan out. The Coors Field factor, yep. MVP Shohei Ohtani. At this point, especially if Shohei pitches this year, which sounds like a possibility maybe, if Shohei doesn't win the MVP, you're basically betting on him getting injured. Especially if he pitches. Like, at this point in time. You're just betting on him getting injured if you're not saying that he's winning the MVP. Cy Young, I'm going Paul Skeens. Guy's fucking nasty. Disgusting. Paul Skeens, Cy Young. And my Rookie of the Year, Roki Sasaki. Way to go. And I've got the Dodgers beating the Rangers in the World Series in 6 games. Let's have a great year, man. I know, guys. I know. I just how is anyone beating the Dodgers? We're reaching like Golden State Warriors territory here, which is hard to reach in baseball because baseball is really random and a lot of things can happen. Would love to be wrong, but I'm here. I'm on board. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to rock in regards to this Rangers season. I think they're going to be great. I do. And another thing as well, you know, the Rangers. They've proven they'll be aggressive at the trade deadline. That's the thing I love about baseball, too, is teams, when they're good, they're ready to fucking go at the deadline, and they'll make moves. And it doesn't really matter who. That's what I like about baseball is it's just like, you know, the Orioles are like, fuck it, we'll go get Corbin Burns. They probably should have spent a little bit more. The Orioles should have. But, you know, we'll go get Corbin Burns. Is Pat Mahomes a Rangers fan? No, he, like, owns part of the Royals, doesn't he? Did they trade Dak? What are you guys talking about in here? Is this like really happening? Don't be a person that falls for the Browns Dak rumors in a serious way. Bruce Drennan. Who the hell is that? Bruce Drennan has 1.9 thousand followers on Twitter. The Browns are negotiating as we speak with the Dallas Cowboys for a trade with Dak Prescott. All right, sure. Oh, my God. Cowboys drafting Shador second overall would just be sickening. Absolutely sickening. All right. Wow, there actually was a Schefter bomb. Those are my baseball predictions. Hey, baseball, anybody watching this who's a baseball fan, please let me know where I went wrong. I'm open. I'm all ears. I'm all ears. Please let me know what I'm missing. I am all ears. All ears. If you're listening to this on Spotify, leave a 5-star review. I love you. Tomorrow, I was hoping to have a video ready by tomorrow, but it won't be ready by tomorrow. Maybe next week, Tuesday or so. It's kind of just a stupid video. Nothing crazy. But I'll Bleacher Report tomorrow, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. We'll talk about the Mavs a little bit. Some pretty good slate of games tonight across the league. Tomorrow, I'll let you guys know if playback is, if like we can watch baseball games tomorrow on playback. I'll stream tomorrow on playback. We'll watch the games together. We'll watch opening day together. And then yeah, we've got for the Mavs' sake. I mean, the pathetic Suns play tonight against the Celtics. That's a pretty big one. That's a pretty big one. I want either Patrick Mahomes or Arch Manning. The Cowboys feel like they're going to do a big thing at a quarterback soon. That's just how my body tells me that. Anyways, if you're listening to this on Spotify, leave a 5-star review. I love you. We also have the Red Raiders play tomorrow. Come on now. Big sports time. Especially for how I'm wanting to become a sports fan now. Like I look around and I talk to people who are just like, hey man, I just watch the games. You know, I just watch my team play. Like, I just watch my local sports teams, and that's who I watch, and I just enjoy it. Like I really do. I want to get in on that. I want to be that guy. I yearn for that. I do. Not a football fan, but Dak needs to be traded. I mean, Dak being traded to the Browns for the 2nd overall pick. That's the pick they have, right? Would be fucking hilarious. I want to be the unk. I'm trying to see if this Cleveland guy has any sources, because every now and then a guy breaks something. It's like, actually, this guy has sources. It's like the Gambo stuff before the KD trade with the Suns. The Gambo guy was reporting on it, and everyone's like, who the fuck is Gambo? And then Suns fans were like, this guy actually knows his shit. His contract, teams would rather bet on the draft. I'm looking at their subreddit. Apparently, it's not even financially possible. All right, here's what I was waiting for. I don't see it, but it is Bruce Dridden, so not like the weirdest source in the world. So I guess there's some. Then somebody said Brad Stainbrook, who I guess is another Cleveland guy, saying, whoa, this is something. Holy shit, this may be real. That would be so fucking funny. Honestly, honest to God. Hey, come on, Cowboys, take some pressure off the Mavs. You know, take some heat off the Mavs. Trade Dak for Luka. All right. Again, Bleach Report tomorrow, and I guess TBD if baseball's ready to go tomorrow on playback, we will watch the Rangers game there. I will not be streaming the Mavs game tomorrow night. I have softball. And I will probably not be streaming the Mavericks on Saturday night as well, because that my dad's coming into town. So we'll be back here Friday for slightly early. Thank you all for coming back. All of the OGs, you guys, I love you very much. They don't have hockey on playback. Thank you guys for coming out. All the OGs, you guys, I love you very much. You could have spent your Wednesday morning anywhere in the world. You decided to spend it here. New subscribers, I promise you guys will not regret it. Donations, members, you guys never have to do that, but it helps out tremendously. Makes me feel so good. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. I will chat with you all tomorrow, potentially on playback. Talk to you all tomorrow on Bleacher Report for sure. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. I will talk with you all later. Bye.